Hello students, in your 8th standard and 9th standard, you will come across a concept called as compound interest. Now compound interest means when you keep some uh, amount with the bank, or you give a loan to someone, or you take a loan from someone, the interest is calculated compoundly. Now what do you mean by compoundly? It means that every year, along with that principal, that interest part is added, and that on that total amount the interest is calculated. So it is called as compound interest because they are calculating on the interest also. In case of simple interest, the interest is calculated every year on the same principal, while in compound interest, the interest is calculated on the principal plus the interest. So it is called as compound interest, and that is the difference between the two. So before I start, my name is Santanu Das, and I've been teaching from the last 27 years. And here we'll take few examples and try to make the concept easy for you so that you can solve the sums. So in compound interest, we have already written down 3 sums on the board. So we have tried to cover all kinds of sums. Before I start, compound interest, the formula is, there are 2 formulas. Let us write it down. We'll write it here first. Amount is equal to principal 1 plus r upon 100 raised to n. And to find out the compound interest, it is going to be amount minus principal. That is the formula. And if interest is paid half yearly, then rate is divided by 2. I'll write it like this. A rate is divided by 2 and number of years is multiplied by 2. And if interest is paid quarterly, means every 3 months interest is paid quarterly, then rate has to be divided by 4 and number of years, that is a period, has to be multiplied by 4. That is the only step that you have to do additional while solving the sum. Let's start with the first sum. The first sum given to us is principal is 4,000, rate is 15 PCPA, 15% per annum, and number of time period is 1 year. Find compound interest if the interest is calculated half yearly. So as interest calculated half yearly, what we saw is the rate. It was whatever the rate is given to you, that has to be divided by 2. So it is going to be 15 upon 2 PC percent. Not, you don't have to write per annum now. And number of years, n will be, first let me write down the formula. It becomes r upon 2, isn't it? So it's going to be 15 upon 2, that is 7.5%. While n is, that time n we multiplied by 2, n or the period is 1 into 2, that is going to be 2. Yes, okay. So the n is going to be taken as 2. Okay, now the very important thing is, whenever a sum is given, it's of simple interest or compound interest, whenever you see anything in decimal, don't keep it in decimal, write it in the fraction form. Then it becomes easier to solve the sum. Okay, so in the case over here, it is 7.5 PCPA. So 7.5 PC means the double of 7.5 is 15. 15 upon 2 is same as writing it 7.5. Same way, if it was 6.5, 6.5 double is 13. 13 upon 2 is same as writing 6.5%. Same way 5.5%, 5.5 double is 11. 11 upon 2 is same as writing 5.5. So every time you see in the form of decimal, first you convert it in the form of a fraction. Then it becomes easier to solve the sum. Okay. Also, one more thing, sometimes you may see it in months, so something like this, 6 months. So if you see the period is given in months, every time you need to convert it into year first, because the sum has to be taken it in year. So 1 year means 12 months, so you have to divide it by 12. So this is going to become 1 upon 2 year. So this is how it has to be taken. Also, another confusion when it's given in the form of a mixed fraction, say 2.5 years. Suppose the period was given to us as 2.5 years. So in that case, whenever the period is given you in a mixed fraction, make it into a vulgar fraction. So the 2 2s are 4, 4 plus 1, 5, 5 upon 2 years. So basically, it may be in decimal, it may be in mixed fraction, it may be in month, whatever it is, your aim should be, you should write it in the fraction form, because then it becomes easier to solve the sum rather than solving it in decimal. Okay, so let's proceed now to the formula. The formula is A is equal to P 1 plus R upon 100 raised to n. So what is our principal? Principal is 4000. 1 plus rate is 15 upon 2. The whole thing upon 100. And n is now 2. So this comes to 4000. And the fraction, the numerator has a fraction, denominator 2. It will come down and it will become 15 upon 2 into 100 square. Now don't try to cancel this, okay? Don't try to cut this and put it into decimal, it becomes complex. So just keep it like this. And so 1 into 2, 2 into 100 is going to be 200. Now there's a number and a fraction, so we cross multiply, so it's going to be, okay, I'll write down the step, 1 plus 15 upon 200. I'll write all the steps so that you understand how to do it. So that comes to 15. So this is 4000. Now 200 one side, it's a number and a fraction, so we cross multiply. So what we get is 215 upon 200 square. 200 ones are 200 plus 15 is 215 upon 200. That's how we solve a number and a fraction. So ultimately what we have got is 4000 into 215 upon 200 into 215 upon 200. Now what is cancelable? Divide 1 0, another 0, another 0, and this is going to be 2 2s are and 2 10s are, and so 2 1s are and 2 5s are, and so we have got a 2 over here and a 5 over here. So to make the thing simple, we can cancel it once more, but as you can see there's a 2 and a 5, so it is always easy to keep a 10 or a 100 down, because then what happens is later we don't have to cancel anything, we just have to take it that many places. Like for example in this case, what is going to be the amount? It is, so we have 215 into 215 upon 2 into 5, that is 10. I have purposely not cancelled. 5 could have been cancelled, but I have not cancelled it and kept it as 10, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply 215 by 215. So that comes to 5 5s are 25, 7, 10. Ones are, it's going to be the same thing, 215, and 2s are is going to be 5 2s are 10, 2 1s are 2 3, 2 2s are 4, so it's 5 12 2 6 4 6 2 2 5. So this is 4 6 2 2 5 upon 10. So as there's 1 0 below, so in the denominator, so the decimal will come after 1 point. If there was 100, then it would have come after 2 points. So the answer is going to be rupees 4622.5. Okay, just to explain you, even if I would have solved it another way, I would have got the same answer. I'll do it over here. See, I had a 215 into 215, and below I have got 2 into 5. Now, some of you may think that 5 is divisible, so I should have done it 5 fours are 20, and 5 threes are 15. Okay, so 200, I got it 215 into 43. So I would have to multiply 215 into 43. 5 threes are 15, 3 ones are 3, 4, 6, 5 fours are 20, 4 ones are 4, 6, 8. So it comes to 4, 12, 9245. So then I would have got 9245 divided by 2. Then I have to divide it by 2. So if you are good enough in maths to do this, you do it this way. Directly cancel it. You are not able to do it. Just divide it. 9245. 2 fours are 8. 12. 2 6 are 12. 0. You have to bring one digit at one time. 2 twos are 4. 0. Next number. 2 twos are 4. 1. And first time I'm going to write a 0 from my mind. So 0, 2 5s are 10. See, either case, I got the same answer. But do you see the difference that when I solved it this way, I just multiplied this and I just know that when there's a 10, I have to just put a decimal after 1 point. So the time taken for me to solve this was lesser compared to this. And also there's a chance you may make some mistake in the division part. So whenever you see a 10 or a 100, you just multiply the things instead of cancelling. And then if it's a 10, you put the decimal after 1 place. If it's 100, put the decimal after 2 place. That's how the time taken will be less. Okay. So right now, I'll rub this off. So this was not the final answer. They have asked us to find out the compound interest. So I'll just write it down here. So as you can see, the formula compound interest is amount minus principal. So the amount we got is 4622.5 minus 4,000. Now 4,000, where do we write? In spite of repeated telling, what students do is they write 4,000 somewhere like this. So you have to always remember, when you are going to subtract, numbers have to be written on the same place. That means under unit place, you write a unit place. Under the tens place, you write a tens place. So in this case of 4,000, principal was 4,000. So unit place is this. And in this 46225, 2 is the unit place. So the number should be written like this. And there's nothing over here. So you can just write a 0. So it's 5226. So the compound interest is going to be 622.50 paise. So that's how the first sum will be done. Another thing, so in this question, the interest was calculated half yearly. Most of the time when the sums are given in the exams, you'll not see this thing written compounded half yearly or compounded quarterly. It's a normal sum. The sum will be find the compound interest. In that case, you don't have to do this part. The rest, everything is going to remain the same. In that case, if this sum, it was find compound interest and these things were not written, then I would have not written this part and I would have directly substituted 4,000, 1 plus, then rate I wouldn't have divided by 15 upon 2. I would have taken rate directly as 15 upon 100, and n period was 1 year. I would have directly taken it as 1 and then solved it. Okay. So that's how to find out the compound interest. Okay, let's take another example, a different example to broaden our concept. Now this time, find the compound interest. Okay, so again I have to find out the compound interest. Compound interest is amount minus principal. So for any formula to solve, we need to know two things. Like there should be only one unknown. Okay, in this case there are 3 factors, 3 variables, so only one unknown. So find compound interest means we don't know this. If amount of certain principal after 2 years is amount is given to you, principal is also not given. So basically in this sum, we need to first find out the principal and then we can calculate the compound interest. So how do we go about it? Same way, write down the formula. A is equal to P 1 plus R upon 100. raised to n. Now this time in this example, you see the amount has been given 4036.80. Principal, we don't know. Rate is given to us as 16 and number of years is 2 years. So n is 2. So you could have written the given things over here. You could have written the P is not given. You could have written the A, the rate and the period. You could have written that down. Okay, so we have substituted those. So what we get is 4036.80 P cross multiply 100 plus 16 is going to be 116 upon 100 square. So that's going to be 4036.80 and P square means you have to take it 2 times, 116 upon 100 into 116 upon 100. Now we want to find out the principal, so let everything with the principal come this side. So it will be 4036.80 into 100 upon the things which were in division has gone in multiplication, and the multiplication will go in division. So you can see that 100, so this decimal will go from this, and this can actually be written as 403680, and this 100, let's solve it. No, we will keep it simple only. We'll keep it simple only. So we have got 100 over here into 100, and we have 116 and 116. So what we can do now is this will come in 4's table. 4 2s are 8, 36. 4 9s are 36, and this is going to be 4 25s are. I'm sure this thing is going to be divisible by, let's check it out. If it's divisible, 29 divided by 403680. 29 ones are is 29, 11 remaining 3, 29 fours are, and 4s are 36, 2s are 8, 116. It has become bigger. 3s are 9 3s are 27, 2 3 2s are 6, 87. That comes to 6 2 0 borrowed from here. You have to borrow from this, so it will become 0 2 6. Bring the next number down. Next number is 6 2 6 6. 29 9s are. The problem is when the students see bigger number, they just lose heart and they give up the sum. You just have to solve it. 9 8s are 72, 7, 8 2s are 16, 232. 29 9s are, let's check. 29 9s are, let's do it here. 29 9s are, 9 9s are 81, 9 2s are 18, 18 261, smaller. So 9s are 261, 58. 29 2s are is going to be 58, and there's another 0 that will come down. So it's 1390, 13920. So 13920. Okay. Now 13920 again will be divisible. Let's check it. 116. What we do is we will rub this off. 116 surely is going to divide by 116. 13920. 116 4s are 6 4s are 24. 7s are, let's take 7s are 7 6 are 42. 7 1s are 7 11 1. Oh, 1s are, I'll get it now. 116. So 3 232. So 232 is going to be 2s are 232, and there's another 0, so it's 120. So this is 120s are. Now 120s are, so 120 into 25, It is going to be 25, 2 is 55, 300, 3000. So the principal is going to come to 3000. So see, what is different from the easy sum is there is too many calculation, little more calculation than a simple sum. So you should practice this and I'm sure you can do the sum. Okay, so the principal has come as 3000. So this is also calculated. Now we can find out the compound interest. Compound interest is amount minus principal. So amount was given to us was 4036.80. Again, you write it in the proper place under unit place. So it's going to be 0.863010. So this is going to be the compound interest. So this is how we calculate the sum where it was not a direct sum. In this case, it was a direct sum where we had to find out the amount and then we found out the compound interest. In this sum, as you can see, the amount was given. We had to calculate the principal. Now let's see the third sum. Okay, see now the compound interest property can be used for sums where money is not involved, but as it's compounded. Okay, so there also you have to use the formula of compound interest only. So in this case, population of a city is 16,000. And in those examples, in the word problems, what you have to do is in the formula A is equal to P. Let me write it down. A is equal to P 1 plus R upon 100 raised to N. A stands for after and P stands for previous. Means A means what is the after value and P stands for the previous value. And another thing, in word problems, you may see sums in which they say the rate is decreasing. The rate is decreasing or depreciating, depreciate or reduce. If you see all these words, just remember the sums are same, only that the R, the rate has to be taken as negative. When you see these words, decreasing, depreciate, reduce, like for example, if the rate is given to you as 6%, in an example of this, you have to take it as -6. Here you will write it as -6. So plus minus, it will become minus. So you will, in the next step, you will write it as 1 minus 6 upon 100. Okay. Now in this case, population of a city is 16,000. Find rate increase in population of increase if population after 2 years. So you see this value is after and this is before. So P previous population is 16,000 and after population is 17,640. After how many years? N is 2 years. So what is the question? Find the rate. So this is a beautiful question because see, we have in the first example we saw, we calculated the amount. In the second example we saw A was given, we calculated the principal. Now in the third example that we see, this both are given, we have to find out the rate. Okay, so it is going to be a revision of all kinds of sums. So let's substitute in the formula. A is 7640 1600 1 plus R upon 100 square. I've just substituted in the formula. A is 7640, P is 16,000, 1 plus R upon 100 and N is given to us as 2. So this is a multiplication. When it comes this side, it will become a division. 17640 1600 is equal to 1 plus R upon 100 square. So this gets cancelled. As you can see, we need to take out the square root. Now, what is the square root of 16764? If you solve it, you will see the square root of 16764 is going to come as 42 and 1600 is 40. 1 plus R upon 100. So what we did was we took the square root from both sides. Now how to calculate square root, we will see in another video. For calculating the square root, you just factorize and take the factors 2 times, or you can just multiply and see for yourself. So this is the answer. So when you want to calculate R upon 100, isn't it? So 42 upon 40 minus 1 is equal to R upon 100. So just cross multiply. So 42 minus 40, 41s are 40, upon 40 is equal to R upon 100. So that comes to 42 minus 40 is 2 upon 40 is equal to R upon 100. So you have to take this side, so it will become 2 upon 40 into division, it comes this side, it will become multiplication is equal to R. So 1 0 cancelled, 1 0, 2 2 1s are 2 2s are 2 5s are. So PCPA is going to be, rate is going to be 5% per annum. So the conclusion is going to be the rate at which the population is increasing is 5 PCPA. So I purposely have done all the three sums on the same board so that you are able to understand, differentiate that in all the three examples you are doing the same thing. We are using the same formula, we are doing the same way, just that in each of the cases the thing that has to be found out is different, so accordingly we have to change the sum. Okay, so I hope you have understood the video, and if you have, and do practice the video, and if you have found it helpful, share it with other people also, other students also, so that they can also benefit. Thank you for watching the video.